My name is Jerry Lynn Ward, and I'm an attorney practicing in Lakeway, Texas, which is located right outside of Austin, Texas. Since 1980, I have been practicing law, and I started out for the first 17 years of my practice doing only litigation. In the late 1990s, I moved to representing health providers, which I find very fulfilling, and I really like representing them in actions that the government takes against them in business matters such as employment, contract, and other types of issues that every business owner faces. As you may know, the Lake Travis community is very excited about the opening of the Lakeway Regional Medical Center. A lot of providers and physicians have moved out to this area, and a lot more will continue to move out here in order to be near the hospital and to establish their practices. And a very important component of establishing your practice is negotiation and writing and reading of contracts. That can establish your relationship with the hospital, with accountable care organizations, with vendors, and others who are important to your practice. Today, I want to make sure that you understand how important it is for you to have someone knowledgeable review your contracts. And in order to do that, I want to explain some of the important issues that are attached to contracts. The truth is that physicians and health providers want to focus on their practice, not the details of contracts. However, it's important that you know certain issues about contracting so that you can more effectively understand them and work with your professionals who are reviewing them for you. Why is it so important that you know things about contracts and that you have someone review them? First of all, you want to make certain that you do not enter into a contract that is not favorable to you and is more favorable to the other side. That can create all sorts of problems as the relationship between you and the other party continues. Health providers, especially those who take Medicare and Medicaid, face unique challenges when contracting because it is so easy to run afoul of regulations and laws against fraud when you are entering into contracts with other parties. So it is important that you have someone review your contract in order to detect any of those kinds of issues that might arise. I want you to understand that as a healthcare professional, an illegal provision in your contract, especially those dealing with employees and leases, can cause many ill effects for you. It can cause disenrollment from Medicare, Medicaid. It can cause huge fines to be imposed against you, and it could even cause prison time. One other aspect that I want to discuss with you is the fact that as a licensed health professional, you have certain standards that you have to meet. And sometimes in order to meet those standards, you have to depend on good service from your vendors. If you start getting bad service from your vendors, you may be put in a position where the government comes in and says you have violated the standards that are attached to your license or your contract. You are in trouble. If you have a bad contract with a vendor who has been performing poorly, you may be stuck in that contract or have to pay a lot of money to get out of it if you have not had that contract reviewed from the very beginning. It is important in every contract that you have with a vendor that you have the ability to exit that contract if the vendor does not perform. Otherwise, you may find yourself being cited by a governmental agency for failure to meet your standards, or you may end up paying a whole lot of money to get out of that contract. I also think it's important for you to understand that contracts are written by attorneys with specific legal language that has been interpreted by courts and may not be apparent to a person who has not gone through legal training. It is important that you have someone who has an understanding of these legal documents in order to protect you in your contracting with accountable care organizations, hospitals, and vendors. So please, before you sign a contract, consult your attorney about the language of that contract. Again, my name is Jerry Lynn Ward. I'm an attorney practicing in Lakeway, Texas, and I hope this information has been helpful to you.